Here's a look at the game Kahoot. It's a great review game, and it's good for formative assessment. There are paid and free versions. The free version allows 50 students in a game at a time, and that's the version we're going to be looking at today. So if I go to Kahoot.com, after I've created my account, I sign in. Notice there are many tabs across the top. Discover is a lot of their pre-made content. So you can click any of these games and start them from here. And your library is where your favorite things are stored. So you can create from scratch. We're not going to go through that today. Or you can copy games, duplicate them, and bring them in. So if I go back to Discover and I go to the search, and let's say I'm looking for figurative language as a topic for my Kahoot, I can get a glance and see how many players have played this game. It's pretty popular, so I want to take a look at it to preview it. So I select it. I can breeze through the questions, take a look at them and see if this is what I want. Please note too that I can copy this or duplicate it. So first of all, I can save it to my favorites. I can find it again. Or I can duplicate it. And once I duplicate it, I can edit it. So maybe I don't want one as long. Maybe there are a few questions I think are a little confusing, so I might remove those. So you can edit a Kahoot once you duplicate it. And of course, like I said, you can start from scratch. Another video for another day. When I'm ready to begin, I go over and click on play, and it brings up a couple ways to play this game. I can play it with the students in front of me or virtually, or I can assign it to them to do on their own. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to teach. So I get a few different options. Because our students are one-to-one, I tend to pick player versus player. You can turn on a friendly nickname generator so that if you have a problem with kids putting in not appropriate names, you can fix that. This I highly suggest. Put the question and answers on the player's devices. And you can change out the lobby music if you want it. So now we're ready to actually play. So once I start the game, it's going to generate a game pin, which I give to my students. And they have the Kahoot app on their iPads, or it's in self-service and they can tap on install. So on the left-hand side of my screen is the teacher view, and the right hand is the student view. So we're putting in the code, or the game pin, we're putting in a nickname. And you'll see as soon as the students join, their names pop over on the left. And then when I'm sure everyone's in, I can hit start. What I like about this is it will put the questions right on the student device on the right. Questions and answer choices. If you've played Kahoot in the past, one of the biggest downfalls is the students have to look up at your screen and determine what the answer is and then look for the shape on their device. So you'll see what happens. We're going to play through a few questions. Again, student device on the right. You'll see it adds them to the podium and the leaderboard. What I like too about this teacher-directed view is you can advance when you're ready. So if you want to stop and take a teachable moment, if a lot of people got something wrong, you can absolutely do that. So we're going to fast forward to the end of the game so that you can see what happens. But notice I have to hit next to go to the next question. So again, great teachable moments here. The bar graph will demonstrate how many students understood the concept. You don't have to hit next. You could take a reteaching moment here. And our final question. Okay. So at the end, it does a podium thing. Voila. So let's see what happens next. It will highlight, and it will tell you, did you stop sharing your screen because you're going to see some sensitive data here, which I kind of liked. All right, so let's take a look. Back at my report, I can look at things by player, by question. I can see how many players responded, and so on and so forth. So this is not great for giving a grade, but this is great for things like, let's check your prior knowledge on a topic. Let's see how well you understood something. Let's see if you're ready for that quiz or test, and let's see if you just need some extra practice. So this next one we're going into is assigning a Kahoot. And notice again, the player limit is 50. Moving along, I can copy this link to give to the kids. I can give them the game pin, or if I have Google Classroom set up, I can go in and assign this Kahoot right in Google Classroom. And this is what it looks like. Select the class. What action do you want to do? I want to create an assignment with my Kahoot in there. And I could give detailed instructions if I chose to, and then I can assign it. So you decide when this game starts and stops. They can play it multiple times. This is great for review. So let's see what this looks like on the student end in Google Classroom, or excuse me, the Google Classroom view. And there we go. So that's Kahoot in a nutshell. All of the pieces except making your own.